So apparently, women are up to 2 times more likely than men to develop IBS, also known as irritable bowel syndrome. And people younger than the age of 50 are more likely to develop it than those over the age of 50, which is interesting. But what exactly triggers it? And is all this true? Let's find out from an expert, Dr. Piyush Somani. He is a gastroenterologist at Prime Hospital. Hello, Dr. Piyush. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
Very, very good. Is it true? Let's start with this. People younger than the age of 50 are more likely to develop it.
You're absolutely right. Irritable bowel syndrome, we commonly use the word IBS. Okay, so there are different names for this disease or a disorder. Some people, they call it as a nervous colon, nervous stomach, stress colon also. So it is absolutely true that it is more common in young people, particularly somewhere between 20 to 40 years of age.
And why is that?
Yeah.
Why is it for more younger generation?
If you look at the name of IBS, irritable bowel, that means it is not happy with you. In simple words, something is affecting our colon, our stomach, our maida. So the most common reason we all are facing all over the world is obviously the stress. So the stress, the anxiety, the different lifestyle, outside food, all these things affects the brain. The brain controls the colon, controls the stomach. So any problems in the brain, it makes our colon, our stomach more sensitive. And that is one of the reasons it is more common in the young people.
And is this related, as you're saying, the colon and stuff, to the gut? Because that's known as the second brain, isn't it?
Absolutely. So brain is the main thing, as we know, but there is another small brain which is controlling the gut. That is known as gut axis. We call it as a brain-gut axis, where brain is giving the nerves. The nerves are controlling the muscle movements in the colon, in the gut. And when there is some stress, change of lifestyle, some food intolerance, the colon muscles, they become sensitive, and then the patient start getting abdominal pain, bloating, gases. They get diarrhea, ishal, sometimes constipation, which is imsak. So these are the symptoms of IBS.
And so the only way that you can, let's say it's stress, you have to change your lifestyle, right? And the food you're eating.
Absolutely. Like this, one of the common treatment which we advise to a patient with IBS is first and foremost to have a healthy lifestyle, to exercise regularly, to do some kind of meditation, some kind of exercise to divert the mind, to decrease the stress, the anxiety which is affecting their colon. Another thing which we tell them is to avoid certain food items which can aggravate IBS, the bloating.
So
which includes,
tell us what kind of food we should avoid.
Usually the common food which we advise our patient is the lactose-containing food, which is the dairy products. So that is the first thing which we advise them because that causes a lot of bloating. We also advise them to change the grains, particularly not to be completely gluten-free, but try to use different grains which are available in the market rather than being totally dependent on the wheat, like only the white breads and all those stuff.
Yeah.
We also advise them to avoid too much sugary foods or fruits, I would say, like watermelon, apple, which are very high in fructose, because this also aggravates the symptoms.
Really? The fructose does?
Yeah, fructose, particularly in IBS, fructose, lactose, even the artificial sweetener. People are using sugar-free, low-calorie sweeteners.
Yeah.
There are common reasons for triggering the bloating symptoms, the pain in people with IBS.
What are the first few symptoms to look out for, or the main symptoms to think, this isn't a stomach ache, this could be IBS? What do we need to look out for?
Usually the patients commonly present with some pain, as you mentioned, abdominal bloating, discomfort. This pain is usually associated with change in your bowel habits, either a diarrhea, maybe a constipation. And this pain is usually associated with the change in the bowel habit. So when you get a pain, you feel that your normal stool has now become more constipated or maybe diarrhea.
Okay.
If this persists for a long time, usually more than 2 to 3 months, aggravated by some stress or lack of sleep and all those things, you may be suffering from IBS.
So before we go to the doctor and get it checked, is there anything we can try as a home remedy to see if it can subside and we can sort it out before it gets too serious? Is there anything we can try?
What I would advise is that if your symptoms of bloating and gases are only for a few weeks, definitely we can make changes in terms of our food, like avoiding spicy, fried foods, avoiding too much dairy products, eating on time, not skipping the meals. So those are the things we can definitely do. But if the complaints are persisting, it is better to visit a specialist for the same.
Okay. And then if you see a doctor, what's the first thing they're going to do? Are they going to give you some kind of tablets, medication for it?
Usually when we see a patient where we think it can be IBS, but before we label any patient that this is irritable bowel syndrome, which is a functional disease, we need to make sure that patient is not having other problems like an infection, inflammation. Sometimes it could be celiac disease, gluten hypersensitivity.
Yeah.
So we do advise some blood tests, some stool tests, and in some people we sometimes go for an endoscopy and colonoscopy also, just to make sure that there is nothing inside the colon before we label a person that he or she is suffering from IBS.
And let's say you've treated somebody. Can people be quite prone to it? Can it keep coming back regularly?
Unfortunately, this disease is a functional disease. When we use the word functional, it basically means your colon, your intestine, your stomach, they are all healthy, but they have become more sensitive to the food, to the stress. So it can come back on and off depending on your stress levels, depending on your food habits, depending on your lifestyle. So yeah, it can come back, but again, it can be manageable by going for a healthy lifestyle as well as diet and exercise.
And is it true that more women struggle with it than men?
As per the data, you are absolutely right. The chances of having IBS is twice in women as compared to males, actually.
Is it because they're married to men and there's more stress? I'm trying to figure this out. Maybe it's because
the marriage.
Yeah. Yeah, I should say it's more married women struggling with this or single women. But I suppose if it's to do with stress, I mean, human beings have stress the older we get anyway. But it's interesting between, you're saying, like 25 and 50, because I suppose that's the time when careers are taking off, people are getting married, children are being had. So there's a lot of changes and stresses during those times.
Absolutely. And I think we all have families, and the females few reasons I would say. Obviously, the marriage is one of the reasons because they have to take care of the children and obviously the husbands. Second thing is many of them are working women, so they are taking care of the family as well as the workplace.
Yeah,
they are managing the kids, which is commendable. That's why they say that females are always stronger than males.
Yes.
Another reason is the hormones. So females, they have different kind of hormones, and that also with polycystic ovarian disease can also aggravate. But yeah, obviously females have their own issues in terms of managing the family.
Okay. Well, Doctor, thank you so much for joining us on the show. I hope your colon's doing well.
Inshallah, for all of us.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
This content is for informational purposes only and does not intend to substitute professional medical advice, diagnosis or treatment.
I'm talking about Kareem from Kids App. He's the founder of Kids App, and he gives us all the lowdown on how to keep the parents sane so you can keep the kids busy and off the streets. How you doing, stranger? It's been ages.
It's been too long. I think you guys need to get me on the show more often.
I know.
Got to help these parents out.
Yeah, you need to just text me and buzz me and say, Poonam, the parents are dying here slowly. You need me on the show. And then I'll get you on.
Done.
It's very easy. Just be nice to me, bring me food. Me and Helen will have anyone on. That's the way it usually works.
You'll get a daily buzz.
Okay, let's talk about some fun things to do because kids are still off and we got Ramadan activities. So let's start off with iftar by the beach at the Long Beach campground, and that's in Ras Al Khaimah.
That's in Ras Al Khaimah, and being the structured company that we are, we've broken it down into Ramadan and Easter activities followed by camps. For the iftar at the Long Beach, I'm sure you've been there. It's such a beautiful spot, very peaceful, very natural. And they set up this buffet right on the beach, so you're eating on the sand. I mean, you're eating on tables, but you're sitting where the sand
You're grounded, your feet are on the sand.
Exactly. They have barbecue, they have arrays of dishes, and they even have some very nice light music as well. There's a live band playing.
Yeah, my friend actually went there recently. She asked me to go, but I was busy, and she said we need to go back. She said she really enjoyed it. Said it was a great place to hang out.
It was one of our favorites when we went there as a family. So also it's a really good time to stay over there if you're off with the kids.
Yeah. What about the Majlis at the Global Village? I haven't actually been to that ever during Ramadan Kareem, and we used to go to Global Village regularly for a previous show.
That's interesting you say that. I've been to Global Village once. That was last year during Ramadan, and we absolutely loved it, and we're going to go again. So, I mean, I think everybody knows Global Village. There's so much to do there, so many different activities.
It's a great place.
You can feel like you've traveled without even leaving Dubai.
So what's the Majlis about? Is it a nice Majlis? Is it good for families and kids?
No, it's really beautiful. It's great for families and kids. They have entertainment, they have oud, they have harp, they have cello players even. They have the Tamura dancer, the traditional Tanura dancer, and they have a magician as well. Mm-hmm. And you can also order iftar or suhoor there, or you can go and buy from more than 250 other restaurants in the place. You can buy food and bring it there from every single country in the world.
250. Not very good if you're on a diet, right?
No.
But okay, so family, iftar and playtime. And where is this taking place? We've got an unlimited Ramadan pass.
Yeah, so we have two things over at Adventure Parks and Cafe. This is over in Jumeirah, the end of Al Wasl Road. And we have, first of all, a Ramadan pass, which gives you full access to Adventure Parks for only 300 dirhams for the whole of Ramadan. It's an amazing offer, unlimited time. And then we also have the iftar plus pay time. So for really, really very, very little money, for 110, you get adult and child iftar and 1 hour for the child to play. That's over in Adventure Park, which is a really nice kind of soft play plus climbing play area. It's done a little bit differently. It's pretty big, and it's over there tucked away in Jumeirah. More details on Kids app, of course.
Yeah, okay. And remind everybody on Instagram how to spell Kids app so they can find all these deals.
So that's Kids app, KIDZAPP.
Did you come up with that name, or did your kids?
Well, it was actually me, my wife, my kids, my friends, my family. I sent out like about 20 names to everybody, and we brainstormed them for days until we came up with it.
I would love to speak off air and see what the other possible names could have been. But I love Kids app. It explains everything. So let's talk about Blue Waters Island. There's a tree house there, but it's not spelt with a double E.
So it's actually spelled with 2 8s, so Trait House, but it is pronounced Tree House, at least I believe so. I've only ever seen it written.
Do you think they got the printing wrong and they just had to go with it?
I think there was another tree house somewhere, so they had to.
Okay. So what's that? Is it a tree house actually?
So this is over in Blue Waters. It's actually a really nice kind of restaurant, food court type space, but very high end. And then they have 4 different play area types over there. So they have Skyfall, which is a trampoline zone. They have Mystic Golf, glow in the dark, fun, crazy golf. There's a Munchkin Monster, which is for the younger kids, which is basically soft play. Then there's laser tag, which you can do with the adults. All of this, and there's a food hall with different kinds of food from Lebanese, burger, Italian, Asian, and of course a coffee shop. And we have a weekly pass there. So for 450 dirhams, you can have unlimited time at all of these venues. And if you want, you can leave your kids inside one of the smaller venues while you're sitting in the restaurant area.
Blue Waters Island, there's a lot going on there that I didn't even know about. I think I went back in the day when it was, slowly building. I didn't even hear of this before.
Yeah, no, Blue Waters is completely different now. It's really, really beautiful. So many restaurants, places to eat and hang out, and a couple of nice play areas, of which Treehouse is one of the really nice ones.
Okay, so I'll go and check that out. You go and check out the Medina at Jumeirah, and then we'll do a swap here.
Deal.
Okay, what about spring breaks and camps? Camps are always a great way. I used to love camps growing up.
Okay, so, first of all, I'll tell you a little bit about Easter. We have a couple of things coming up for Easter, which is the Lapita Easter Staycation, where you can stay at Lapita Hotel at Dubai Parks and Resorts. They have an Easter egg hunt, bunny activities, a Smurf show. They have movie and quiz night, so it's really good for the families. One more Easter thing is the Big Toy Brunch. That's over at the Holiday Inn in Dubai Festival City. As you can imagine, all of the Easter activities, mascots, face painting, games. They have a meet and greet with Jeffrey the Giraffe. And there's a goodie bag, Toys R Us goodie bag for the kids. That's only for 75 for kids, 175 for adults, all on Kids app. Going into camps, which was your question.
Yeah.
So first of all, there's a beautiful space that I think everybody has to go to, and I really want to go there as well with my kids. It's called Maliha Archaeological Center. That's over in Sharjah. It's near where they have Fossil Rock and everything.
I have a feeling Helen took Phoebe there actually recently. I think it's the same place and it looked really cool.
Oh, is it? All I know is I've been watching Helen's stories in
Yes.
Zanzibar and it's been driving me crazy. So I don't know.
No, she did go to this place with the Phoebes and they had made fossils and stuff. And I said, this looks really cool. And I think it was this place.
It does look like it. So they actually learn how to make casts of fossils. There's a landscapes sunset tour with SUVs, dune buggy. There's an adventure package. They even do like the sunset kind of barbecue dinner where you also sit with experts and look at the stars through telescopes. So all of that starting from 90 dirhams. There's a lot of options. So you really need to download Kids app and check it on there. Very beautiful, very natural.
What's going on at the Fairmont, the Palm?
So there is a water sports camp. Now, this is something I would have loved as a kid. It's from ages 5 and up, and it starts 9 a.m. until sunset. It's at the Palm.
Oh, that keeps the kids busy all day. That's great.
Yeah, and they have a lot of stuff going on there. So, for example, they have kneeboarding, parasailing, kayak,
Wow.
donut rides, banana, all of this stuff. All of the details on the cost for all of the activities are in Kids app. So,
And you know what happens? You know when you go on the boat or you go and do water sports, you're exhausted. They will come back and sleep all night after 8 hours on the water.
that's what we want, right?
So basically, Kids app is how do we get the kids tired and to bed early? That's the whole goal of this app.
Well, that's why I came up with it, right?
How old are your kids now?
So now they're 13 and 11.
So do they go to a lot of these or are they outgrown these?
Well, actually, now I have them working on the app when I need something checked or to do some research on the site or something.
That's great.
Well, they don't think so.
No. Give them a bit of pocket money for it. Then they'll feel better. They'll feel like they're earning some money. Okay, 2 more. We've got 15% off Bounce Winter Camp. What's going on there?
Yeah.
That's Bounce, the trampoline place.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Bounce. 15% of the Bounce Spring Camp is for 4 years and up. And it's over in Al Quoz and Dubai Festival City. They have 2 branches.
I didn't know about the second one.
The one in Festival City is really, really nice. It's a bit. They've done it a little bit differently. It has more of a parkour feel for it. So you're asking what do my kids like doing? That's where we go.
Okay.
And they have freestyle trampolining and coaching, parkour. So there's a lot of learning, but they also have a mix of other kinds of games, like fun trampoline challenges, adventure. There's a lot of adventurous games that they do. They have dedicated hosts. One of the things that Bounce prides itself on is that they have dedicated hosts that really look after the kids, and lunch is included. So this starts from 165 per day. And over at Cheeky Monkeys, for the younger kids, we have 10% off. That's just a soft play area with climbing and arts and crafts, creative play, and meals and snacks are also included. That's 131 dirhams. All the timings are in the app. You can book directly and you get the offer, and then you just drop your kids off immediately.
What's one of the favorite places that you've been to recently with the kids that you love as a parent hanging out there?
Honestly, it has to be always Wave House at the Atlantis.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
That's
The
so
food is
cool.
great. It's like a parent's day out. Plus the kids and you can enjoy the VR with the kids. The arcade games, you can bowl as well.
Bowling,
so
yeah.
everyone kind of enjoys it. They also have surfing outside as well.
Yeah, no, that is a really cool place. Okay, Kareem, thank you so much. And I think this app and your kids keep you young.
Get ready for the daily buzz, and parents, don't forget to download Kids app and start booking.
You've been listening to a Dubai Eye 103.8 podcast. To enjoy lots more from Dubai Eye in the United Arab Emirates, just go to DubaiEye1038.com or find them wherever you normally get your podcasts.